Hey, I'm Nick Smoot with Innovation Collective, and we're starting a new news segment called IC News. So, welcome to IC News. If you're curious what it's about, we are going to cover weird things happening in tech news, the economy, financial markets, and take an approach of looking at it from the lens of kind of what's fresh, what's over the edge. And I'm not saying I'm the only expert in the world that's looking at these things, but I do see a lot of weird trends happening. So today we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to give you the first segment of IC News. And if you do want to follow us, innovationcollective.xyz is our website. And you can also go onto Facebook and either subscribe to my live video feeds, or you can go to Twitter, InnovateCDA, Instagram. I think they're all over. But today I want to talk about two things. First one is the fact that we are moving into a space where we are using a gene editing tool on animals, plants, people, all sorts of random things. The first human test just happened, I think a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago in China, and it was used for a great thing. They were trying to do gene editing to get rid of cancer, so they introduced new cells to try and chase the cancer out. And it's using a thing called Crispr, is what it's called. This came out of the whole Human Genome Project. If you don't know about that, which most people do, it's been about a decade from the Human Genome Project. So everyone got excited because we had this big breakthrough and we mapped the human genome. And what was going to come out of it? And people thought, oh, we're going to have all these massive changes. Well, everything takes time. So you have the big breakthrough, and then there's kind of the disappointment of, oh, well, it didn't do anything. Well, now, a decade later, we have this gene editing tool where literally we can basically just kind of cut the DNA, stitch in whatever we want into there, and then ship it back into the body or into the being, so plants as well. And for a long time now, people have discussed what will this mean. For the first time ever, we're getting in the space of almost copy and pasting. I saw an article that talked about copy and pasting humans, which sounds a little bit odd. But some things that they've discussed that we can do now with CRISPR in the near future, and that they already are doing. One was creating mini pigs, right? Like making a pig that weighs full grown, like a hog that's 30 pounds. Not like the little, Vietnamese potbelly ones, but we're talking like tiny, tiny pigs. And if you can do that to pigs, could you do that to people? Additionally, I've also seen one that I found interesting is they talked about making these incredibly muscular goats, which I don't know why you'd want to make an incredibly muscular goat. It could be kind of fun just to see an incredibly muscular goat, but I think about it from the perspective of if you can do that to a goat, can you make me like yoked, ripped? Can I get CRISPR'd? Are we doing this now? Like, are we going to pop into a place? And what does that mean? So now if I'm getting CRISPR'd, I just made that term up, and it changes my physical makeup, can we change other things about my DNA? And that jumps into the place of these whole kind of designer babies, is what people have been calling them. So the ability to detect things you don't want and change them on the fly. So almost like coding a website, you can look at a future baby and go, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that hair color. Let's change that. So if we go there, that's an interesting thought. I think we should probably be using it on disease, AIDS, cancer. That's fantastic if we can eradicate that from the human race. But also knowing you and I, we're fairly dumb and vain at times. And so at some point we have that random thought that's like, man, I wonder if I could just get rid of the spare tire right here, like forever. Could I just CRISPR that? And it's that step that leads to the next one, the next one. I do think that we're someday going to find ourselves in the near future in a world where a fashion brand, I've said this before, we might see a fashion brand someday that's like, too many people look perfect. They're all CRISPR'd. I want someone who looks organic. I don't want a genetically modified person for my runway show. I want an organic man. I want a man with a pot belly and like back hair and male pattern baldness to wear like the new 2027 line by person blank. And that sounds crazy, but I think that could be where we end up going. Additionally, organic versus GMO human dating websites where people who feel outmatched or they don't want to go in that gene pool, they want to stay in their own. So if you haven't researched CRISPR, you probably should. CRISPR, I think. Yes. I should probably get that edited so I can remember that. So we'll work on that. That's Nick Smoot with IC News.